Hi YouTube, what's up? Today we're gonna talk about why a lot of e-commerce brands are broke, why they're actually building a e-com prison instead of like something that sets them free. Because everything is pretty expensive, not gonna lie. Logistics, pretty expensive. Supply chain can be really expensive. Marketing costs are not getting cheaper anytime soon. So that is a very interesting situation a lot of brands are in right now. And yeah, there's just a couple of things I see why brands are thriving or they are struggling. And yeah, today I want to make some points either way. The first thing I see is that a lot of e-com brands are way overstaffed. I talk to brands, they're making around $1 million, $1.5 million a year in revenue, and they already at 5 staff members. And I'm thinking, what the heck are they doing all day? And the reality is that you can build a pretty lean e-com brand as a founder, up to 2, 3, 4 million, and just adding a team by one customer support, maybe an agency or two that are really good in their specific niche or thing. For example, we do paid ads, right? So we help make them revenue. And there is another agency doing Crow, which improves the quality of the marketing that we do, helps the founder, and all with a pretty lean cost structure for the ecom brand. And himself, for example, from a client of us, he is at $4 million in revenue right now. And he is by himself. It's us, one Crow agency, and one support person. He doesn't need to be in meetings all day, and he's pretty free with his time. We are sitting around a healthy 20-25% margin. So he can do whatever he likes, basically, with this money, with this freedom. And that is the ultimate goal, I guess. So that is one thing that I see. Overstaffing too early. It's a big problem, especially if you hire people that doesn't bring any revenue and are just a cost point, right? They're just making up some costs. All right, the second thing I see daily, on a daily basis, is that a lot of founders don't understand the connection between the offer and the cost per acquisition. The cost per acquisition is something that a lot of people look just as a vanity metric, I feel like, even though it's one of the most important metrics that we have in ecom. And for example, we had a brand which was really struggling to get to a certain level. And what we did is, look, people are just not ready to pay 130, so a premium for this product. You should make it below 100 and make a good offer around it. So people have high value perception of the product, and even though we reduced the price. And what's happened is that once we started with the new offer, the cost per acquisition dropped from 60 something to 20 something, which means that you're actually already saving $40 net in cost per acquisition, which makes up the price decrease of the product already. So it's much more profitable. And besides of the fact that you're just much more profitable right away, is that you're building a really positive flywheel. You're building that flywheel of, you can do more ad spend because you're confident and the orders coming through. You can do way more upsells and cross sells in the back end. And also you can do much more referrals. You can do much more word of mouth. And that is something that a lot of people underestimate on scale. Like, that is a super important thing. Obviously you need to have a good product, right? Without a good product, you should stop right away. But that is how customer acquisition and offer is connected to each other and can make you or break you. And rarely really looked at from agencies. I think not a lot of agencies do that because it's much more consulting. They need to use their brain. And obviously, as we know, a lot of agencies don't use their brain. They just want to help themselves instead of their client. So anyway, that is something that I see brands are struggling with. And if they're changing the offer, they could really change their entire business. And the last point that I see is where many brands are missing the opportunity to double, triple, or even 10x is building a clever product range. I see it in the home decor space. I see it in the consumer goods space. If you create a product additional to existing product range, you can easily and obviously sell this thing to the existing customer base. And what that does is, it's not only revenue, but it's also high margin, because obviously you skip the marketing part, the customer acquisition part. And that is something that a lot of brands don't do, and they just can get complacent with their current product range, not really developing, not really innovating. And that is a big missed opportunity. So if you want to grow, look at a new product in way of how can you sell to existing customers. And even though the new market is relevant, but the existing customer base should be a priority. And that is what I see with brands that are at $5-10 million in revenue and with a really lean structure. And yeah, with that being said, I think that was the most important points to scale an e-com brand to 5 to 10 million. I will do much more of these more laid back videos in the future. Let me know what you think. Let me know what I should talk about, if this video was actually helpful. And yeah, with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one.